Hey, it's Mike over at fishyourassoff.com, and today what we're talking about is snook fishing with ladyfish. Gosh, big snook love ladyfish. Same with tarpon. So if you can get some ladyfish and keep them alive, you know, that's the thing. They're bigger usually, so you want something that's 12 inches to maybe 18 inches long. So you need a big bait well to keep those alive. But if you can do it, I'm telling you, they are such great baits. And like I said, for big snook and tarpon, those are excellent baits. But let's go ahead and cover how to hook them, because I see a lot of people making mistakes when they do that. Where you hook the fish is going to how that fish is going to be presented in the water is all about how you hooked it in the first place, is what I'm trying to say. So you want to hook them in the back, and it'll keep them right on top of the water, because they will swim away from you. So you're holding your rod, and they're going to keep against it and just fight. So they're going to be just like this, right on top of the water. So you get to see those massive top water slams by the snook. But again, this is only for big snook. If all the snook in the area are this big, you're not catching any with ladyfish. But if there's some of those big fat sows in the area, well, you can catch them with a ladyfish. So you hook them in the back. Well, that's a great way to do it. If you nose hook them, this is a much more natural presentation. You know, the mullet can just swim around with however it wants to. It's a very natural presentation, but they seem to miss it more because you don't have a hook in those big tail muscles that keep them moving around. So when you're free lining a nose hooked ladyfish, they miss them a lot, I guess is my point. But if you're drifting the flats, that's really the way to do it. If you're drifting the flats looking for some of those big snook that are hanging out in the grass flats or something like that, or it's a tidal creek, a shallow tidal creek or something like that, you know, that's probably the way to go, because if not, your fish will be getting pulled backwards. So it's on top of the water and it's going backwards the whole time. It's a very unnatural presentation. A lot of people belly hook them, and belly hooking them just like this is very similar to that. It keeps them right on top of the water. But you know, I don't ever do that. You know, it just a lot of times if you cast too hard, you'll just tear the belly out on the fish, and you know, you kill the fish and you don't catch any snook. So I don't really ever belly hook any of these when I'm doing it. Another thing you can do is a Jupiter rig. A Jupiter rig is for fishing inlets. So you hook your ladyfish, your mullet, your pinfish, whatever it is you're fishing with. You hook them in the nose, and then you got your leader, and say that's 24 inches, whatever it is. And then you have a barrel swivel, and then you have an egg sinker. And that egg sinker can move back and forth between these two. So maybe that's 12 inches right there. And it can move back and forth between those two barrel swivels. And then you have it tied to the rest of your line. And what that does is your bait actually just kind of rolls on the bottom. So your ladyfish or pinfish or mullet or whatever just kind of rolls on the bottom with the tide, and it keeps it right in that strike zone of those big inlet snook. You know, this is a great way to fish an inlet. Those big inlet snook that are there. You know, probably doesn't work too well if you're in one of those rocky inlets. But you definitely a sandy inlet. You know, in Jupiter Inlet they use this all the time, which is why it's called a Jupiter rig. But it works really well, and you want to keep them on the bottom, right in that strike zone where all the bigger snook will be. You know, when you're fishing deeper in a water column like that, a bridge, an inlet, you know, those big fat females are all the way on the bottom. You know, if you're higher in the water column, you're getting smaller snook, the males, you know, and things like that, and you want to catch the big ones. But here's all those places: inlets, docks, you know, any of those places. You know, when I'm fishing a dock or mangroves or anything like that, I usually have it hooked up to a bobber. So it'll be hooked up to you know, some sort of bobber. Here's a rattle cork. Here's another one. Got rattles in it. So So any of these are just gonna, I like them just to slow down the fish, because I'm amazed at how often tarpon and snook miss a ladyfish. Yeah, it's your job to eat this thing. How are you missing it? You know, it's like boom, miss, boom, miss. I mean, the thing is tied to a bobber and it's got a hook to its tail, and they're still not catching it. So it helps slow it down. So if you can get away with a bobber, use it, because it just slows down the whatever you're fishing with. I don't care if it's a mullet or a ladyfish, whatever you're fishing with, it's going to slow them down just a little bit more, and you'll see that your actual hookup ratio increases if you have a bobber. And if you're fishing by mangroves or something, it tells you exactly where your fish is, you know, because the bobber points to right to where the fish is, so you know where your fish is, even if you can't really see it, because you're like, oh, okay, well, I have, you know, 24 inches past this bobber, so I know that my ladyfish is right by those mangrove roots, but not quite in them, or wherever you're fishing. So it's just it's a good way to keep track of your bait, you to slow down your bait, and you to keep your bait on top when it's coupled with hooking it in the back and this, so it's right on top of the water. But this is one of those I wanted to cover about ladyfish. You know, ladyfish are for big snook. I mean, because, you know, your ladyfish is this big, and, you know, it takes, even though snook have huge mouths, it's hard for them to eat something this big. So this is for big snook, but you would be amazed. Your personal best snook will probably come from a ladyfish at night, if that's when you're using them, because the bigger fish in general just are much more courageous at night, I guess. So they're all finicky during the day, like, I don't want that. At nighttime they turn on, and there's a very good chance that your personal best, whatever, tarpon, snook, trout, will happen at night, because the big ones really feed at night better, I should say. I mean, they'll feed first thing and last thing in the day too, but for the most part, nighttime is when you catch your big, your personal best, things like that. You can find more of this information right on our website. It's www.fishyourassoff.com. We have videos like this and articles, all how to inshore fishing information. But I think that's it for today. So until next time, we'll see you then. All right. Bye-bye.